Hi to all of you out there. Thanks so much for allowing me into your home today, or this evening even, just to be able to share just a quick message about Christmas. But let me get started by saying to you, we just wish you the greatest Christmas you've ever had. Helene and I just celebrate along with you. The elders of the church, the leadership of our church, send you greetings this Christmas time. And we really hope and pray that it be everything that you would want for it to be. But I have a short message that I'd like to share with you. You know, around the world, there's going to be millions and millions of people celebrating the event of Christmas. Sadly, for many of those people, there will be no Jesus in their Christmas. Now, that makes a real tragic situation where the very one that we want to celebrate is not even remembered, is not even commemorated, sacrificing his presence for the presence of other presents. And I have nothing against the presents. I think that's a great thing. But any Christmas without Jesus must surely be a really empty event. There's a great story that Max Lucado tells that he wrote. And he talks about a beautiful Christmas scene. And I want you just to imagine this if you can. In maybe a place like England, in one of those little towns in the middle of winter where it's cold and it's snowing, every Christmas Eve, the mayor would come down to a big Christmas tree that was set up in the middle of the park, and all the kids of the town would gather there with him, and he would give presents to all of the kids in the town. It was a great and a festive event, and every kid couldn't wait to get to this Christmas tree celebration. But there was in that town a mentally challenged man, a man who thought that he was still a child. And he would come, even though he was an adult, probably maybe visualize him being in his 20 to 30-year-old man. And he would sit with the children at the foot of the Christmas tree, maybe hoping that he would get a present. But every year, this man never got anything. He was just too old. But the tragedy was he did not know it. But the kids were expected of him being there, and sure as nuts, every Christmas he arrived. On one particular Christmas, according to the story, the naughty boys of the village decided they would play a trick upon this man. So they went and got a beautiful big box. They wrapped it so magnificently, colors and lots of beautiful things on it. And they put a ribbon around it, and they stuck his name on the box, and they put it into the pile with all of their presents. Anyway, the mayor came down, and as you've guessed it, he gave presents to everybody in the village. And all the kids were celebrating. And when the last box was taken out, it had this man's name on it. And it called out his name, and he was overjoyed. He thought, man, after all these Christmases, I've been sitting here, and this Christmas, I get something very special. And his present was presented to him. He looked at it. He didn't want to open it at first. It just looked so impressive. It looked so full of potential. The colors were there, the ribbon was there, his name was on it. But as the kids of the town gathered around him in his excitement, they said to him, hey, open your present, open your present. He didn't want to open it at first, but eventually temptation got the better of him, and he began to take the ribbon off and the name off, and he was so excited by the end of it, he was ripping all the paper off, only to find a beautiful box that was presented to him. And everybody said, open the box, open the box. And with great excitement and incredible sense of anticipation, this man opened the box. And you've guessed it probably, the box was empty. There was nothing in the box. And the kids of the town all laughed at him. He wept bitterly. Something that looked so full of potential, something that was so perfect for what he had anticipated, just yielded nothing. He looked into the box and he could find nothing there. There was nothing for him, just an empty box. A tragic story. I hope it never really happened. But here's the deal for us. You know, that box is like our lives. God gives to us when we're born a beautiful box that is you. You're presented to the world. There's wrapping, there's a beautiful ribbon, and there's a name tag on it, which will be your name. That's your life. That's your box. And as you go through life, the wrapping begins to come off, and you get to the time where you get to the end of your life and the lid of your life is opened. And as with the story, the tragedy might just be you look into the box that was and is your life, and you find it's empty. Now, it's not that you haven't tried to fill it. You have tried to fill it. You've tried to fill it with a whole bunch of things. You've tried to fill it with gifts and toys and other things, and prestige and power and popularity and all of those things, of which I have nothing really in and of themselves against them. But if that's all you try and put in the box, then at the end of the day, there will be nothing in the box. You see, in the box that is your life, there is a reserved sign on it. There's only a handful of things that fill the box at the end of the day. The tragedy is you only know it at the end of the day. When the lid comes off and the lid wrapping is gone, the name tag is gone, and the lid is opened, and you look into the box that was your life and there's nothing there, because you have missed out the point of life, that there's only one who really primarily fills the box, and you know who that is. That's Jesus. So at the end of a Christmas season, there will be many who will look into the box that was Christmas and see that it's empty. And that's tragic in and of itself. But how much more tragic is that in the context of your life? You see, Jesus came and he said, I've come to give you life and to give you more abundantly. It's him that fills the box. This abundant life we're talking about is found only in Christ. Nothing else, according to that beautiful song, satisfies. Only Jesus can fill the box. No good intentions, all your good deeds are not going to fill the box. All your kindness to other people, that's not going to fill the box. All your legalistic attitudes and your religious behavior, not going to fill the box. That box is reserved for one person alone, and it's Jesus. So I hope that your Christmas is not going to be like that story, and that at the end of the day, you'll have all the trinkets and all the stuff that you think is going to fill the box. Nothing will fill it other than Jesus himself. Now, there's a biblical parallel for us. In the book of Matthew, chapter 2, as part of the Christmas story, we have what is traditionally spoken of as the three wise men. My Bible calls them the Magi. It says this: the Magi seek Jesus. Just a few simple verses. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who has been born, King of the Jews? We saw his star in the east, and we have searched, and we have come now to worship him." You see, the Jesus that fills the box is going to require a search from you. He doesn't appear to those who look lightly for him or casually for him. These Magi set a high standard. They raised the bar on searching. They came all the way from a far land, probably 800 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers away, through the desert region, through the heat, through the dry, through the miserable dustiness of a horrible, miserable journey on the back of a camel. And eventually their search yields what they're looking for. Kind of like us, I guess. We go through the dryness of life. We search for him, but we don't find him. And so many people just give up the search. And they just go back home and say, well, that was a bit of a disappointing experience. But I want to suggest to you that the Jesus that fills the box is worth the search. I hope that this Christmas time you find him, and that you find him in all of his glory, because the Magi came, they found him, and with rejoicing, and with them giving gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Those are nice things, but they're just trinkets. The real thing there was, they laid down and they knelt down and they worshipped him. You see, you will always worship that which is most important to you. And so my prayer and my hope for you this Christmas time is that if you were to look into the box that was your Christmas, Jesus will fill the box. As much as the other things are fun, it's just frivolity. It means very, very little without Jesus in the box that is Christmas. So I hope and pray that you'll find him this Christmas. I hope and pray that you will find real meaning in who Christmas is about, and that your Christmas will be filled with the wonder of just one person. That's Jesus. Have a great Christmas, people. We'll see you on Christmas Day in church, I'm sure, and I hope. But those of you who celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, watch this and remember the real thing. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Bye.